Well, g'day, it's Jono Brake here from The Forge Leader with another round of Monday Myth Check. And today we're going to actually just have another conversation about culture and hiring for cultural fit and where this could be a challenge for us in business. Now, I want to be very clear here. I'm all about culture. Every company has a culture. Everyone, some intentionally work on it. Some it just comes through just because of the owners and leaders or the people that are in there. So let's just talk about this for a minute, because this is a myth check, right? So everyone just talks about, well, I want the culture, and culture eats strategy for breakfast and whatever the other things that people say. And so let's have a think about this for a minute, because when it comes to culture, culture is the one thing that's directly related to our purpose, to our brand. I mean, it defines a lot of that stuff, to be honest. Why we exist, where we're going as a team, what we're on mission together to do, what are some of the values that we have, maybe some of the written and unwritten rules that we take. And so there's a lot that kind of fits into the cultural piece. So I want to think about, so where can just hiring to cultural fit go wrong? Okay, I just want to just indulge this for a second. So one of the first areas is that, when people, and this is, we're also talking to people, maybe the culture is not well defined, maybe they're not sure how to define it, maybe they're, whatever it might be. And so we're not talking about people who are very clear, which we need to get. And so one of the things can be that we hire clones rather than people who are going to challenge us. The culture should always be challenged, by the way. Now, that doesn't mean people disagree with it. It just should be stretched and challenged as a company evolves and grows. The way we want the culture to look, it evolves and grows as well. Even though the precepts stay the same, the way that plays out is a little different. So that's one thing to think about. I think, one of the things is, and particularly we have a really comfortable culture, it rewards comfort. Okay, so there's no innovation, there's no, hey, let's have teams stretching themselves. Maybe people are fearing failure or worried if they do something, they're going to rock the boat too much. Maybe we hire those kinds of people, the kind of the stabilizer person that really just, wants to please people and wants to go with the status quo. So, that's another thing that can happen. And I guess, the thing that flows out of that is that if we're just about the culture and not stretching and thinking this through, then the business can stagnate. Maybe we stop focusing on profitability. Maybe we stop focusing on productivity and some of the things because the culture's kind of telling us to be nicer than that. And by the way, I don't think those are incongruent, but I've seen companies that do that. So just a couple of things to think about there. So what would be a great action? At the end of the day, this comes down to your hiring practices as well. So being really clear on the kind of people you want to bring in. I use a kind of a framework called Attitude, Aptitude, and Skill. What's the attitude of the person? What's their aptitude? Then what's their skill, in that order. And another thing that we kind of look at is, we look at all sorts of ways of adding to a culture. So not adding to the definitions, but adding to the people. It's like, just because, my definition of how someone behaves doesn't fit, doesn't mean that they're not a fit here. Maybe it's something we need. Maybe we need someone that's going to be more dominant and strong versus somebody who's just going to be more compliant. Or maybe we need some more conscientious folk who are just going to get a bunch of stuff done, the more tenacious, rather than the kind of the social and connector and the salesy type people. So just a couple of things to think about. So I want you to ask yourself the question, where have you missed it when it comes to your hiring, when it comes to understanding your cultural mix and the things that you need and what you need to get after that's beyond the skill set, okay? Remember, attitude and aptitude. And where do you need to define those things a little bit better so that you can continue to hire to your culture, continue to hire to the right culture, and be able to really grow your business in a way that not only honors the growth of the business, but also honors the culture that you want to protect. So there we have it today, cultural fit. It sounds smart. Just going for cultural fit, it might be a myth. We've checked that for today. I'm all about culture. Don't get me wrong. Don't send me nasty emails because I think it's very, very important that a company has one. I'm Jono Brake, as always. Enjoy the journey.